Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Living on Guam. We have a guest right here this afternoon. As promised on the event page, we are on live streaming at the moment. So if you are new to our page, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Leah, and I am from the Facebook page Living on Guam PCS Homes and Lifestyle. So our goal, our main aim is to assist in relocating, in folks who are relocating to Guam. Now that would mean military as well as civilian. Okay, so civilian folks, so we could be talking about professionals like lawyers, doctors, nurses, teachers, and even federal employees. So they are being stationed or relocated to Guam for work. So we also assist them. So we're looking at Living on Guam PCS Homes and Lifestyle. We assist folks relocating here by giving them information, valuable information that will help them in their relocation. But most of all, we also help, that's our main focus, is really to help people find their piece of paradise here on Guam, meaning to say help them find their home on Guam, either if they're renting or buying home on Guam. But today, as mentioned on the Facebook Live page, so I see that there are 5 viewers right now, so hello. If you're not here during the live, that's okay. You know, this will be on replay, and you can always ask your questions. Andrew just posted a question earlier about a MAC flight, and we'll get to that in a bit. But right now, if I don't have the answer, if my team at Living on Guam don't have the answer, we bring in the experts. We bring in the authority. But first, I need to give credit to the space that we're in. We are here in Touré Coffee Shop, so we want to say thank you very much to Touré. Here's our coffee. Thank you very much to Touré for allowing us to use their facility so we can have this interview for you folks. And then, so now, let me introduce the authority that I'm talking about, the expert who can help you, because the biggest question that I always get, either through email or through the Facebook groups that I'm a part of, or my clients emailing me and asking questions, is the pet question. So I thought it best to bring somebody who knows, who's an expert, who's had a lot of experience with bringing pets into Guam. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sevi Suswiko.
Hello.
Sevi. Yes, so good afternoon, Sevi. Say hello again to everybody. So here we go. Sevi, tell me about your business. Tell me, just give myself and everybody who's watching us right now, give us a background of what you do and basically what you do.
Okay, so I'm actually the manager over at Harper Valley Kennels. We've been here on Guam, helping people relocate to Guam since 1983. So that's over about 35 years of business. So we've seen the good and the bad of relocating people. We've had all types of situations. My mom's actually Dr. Harper. She started the business after she graduated college.
I remember Dr. Harper.
So, and then she ended up relocating to Ohio, and I took over the family business. So technically, I've been working at Harper Valley Kennels since before I was born.
Since she carried you.
Exactly. So yeah, we've been there for a long time, and we enjoy what we do, and that's what we do. We just help people relocate their pets and try to make a daunting task a little bit easier.
That's great, and that's the intention here right now, that daunting task. We want to help you folks who are watching us or who will be watching us on replay. We want to help you make the transition smoother, okay, and as painless as possible. So I have questions here. And these are questions that we've gathered from different groups or from my clients who have emailed me, and for those of you also who have sent questions on the event page. So I have questions here that I'm going to ask Sevi. And if you want to download the PDF format just for your information, the link is on the description. Okay, so again, if you want to download the PDF format of what we're going to be discussing today, the link is on the description. If you want to ask questions that are not addressed on the PDF, feel free to send me a private message. And on the email that you will get with the download is also Sebi's email. So you can email Sebi directly if you'd like to ask him questions regarding your pet transfer or pet boarding. Okay, so let's get started. Are you guys ready? Here we go. So there's 3 stages, right, of bringing the pets to Guam. First is getting them ready. Second is transporting them here. And then the third one is when they're actually on Guam, right? So let's start with getting the pets ready.
Okay.
What do they need a pet certificate? And is it any type of pet certificate, or does it need to be the international?
Yeah, it's supposed to be an international. It's called an APHIS health certificate form. So it's an international health certificate. APHIS. Yeah, I don't know if I'm sure what it's that for, but it's the international health certificate. So you can travel anywhere in the world with that health certificate.
Okay.
Just remember that health certificate is actually only good for 10 days. Okay. So that would be kind of the last thing that you want to get, but the most important document to kind of travel with.
So, like, let's say, for example, if they're leaving 2 days from now, then that would be a good time for them to get the pet certificate.
A couple days before you leave is always good.
Okay, so not too early because it's gonna
it's only expired and you end up having to pay for another health certificate.
Okay.
Get another one issued.
Okay. Okay. So then, speaking of health certificates, these are issued by a vet, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Okay. Does it have? So let's say, for example, because I have a lot of military clients watching. Does it have to be a military vet, or could it be a civilian vet?
It can be any civilian vet that's licensed within the U.S. So It can be on base, off base.
Okay. Is there any advantage of using a military vet over a civilian vet?
I would probably say pricing would be one of the things that's an advantage.
Right.
And also, if you're in the military and you have a current vet that's your military vet, I would keep everything with them possible.
Okay.
All the records can be transferred through them.
Okay.
If anybody needs to be contacted, you can just contact them and they have everything.
So consistent, like have one point of contact instead of like using different vets, right? Because then he'll have to gather the information and then it would be a headache. All right, so either a military vet or a civilian vet would work. The advantage of the military vet would be price-wise, they would be a little bit more affordable maybe. I don't know, it might not be the same. It might not be the same for all states. Okay, so next question here is, what is FAVN blood test, and do you say titter or a titer?
Titer test, yeah.
A titer score.
Yeah.
What are those things?
So
explain that to us,
that's one of the most important things that you want to have before you come into Guam. Is you want to have your FAVN test, which is a blood draw that measures the antibodies to fight against rabies, and that needs to be done before you enter Guam to qualify for the 0 to 5 day program, home quarantine program. So what used to be our mandatory 120 days of quarantine, we have a 0 to 5 day program that's for people located in the U.S. or coming from a U.S. military base off island, like in Japan or Korea. But it has to be a military installation vet issuing the blood tests.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So the FAVN blood test measures the amount of what?
Antibodies against the rabies virus. Yeah, correct. So it's basically measuring in the event that the animal comes in contact with another animal that has rabies, they have enough antibodies to fight against it. Yeah.
Okay. And then the titer, what is a titer? So
the titer is the score. So for example, if you have your FAVN test done, the titer test results need to be above 1.0 in order to qualify for the 0 to 5 day program here in Guam.
Okay, got it. So how does the 0 to 5 day home quarantine program work? Is it only for pets coming from the U.S.? You had mentioned it doesn't matter. So let's say, for example, if they're coming from, so this is for the military clients. So if they're coming from a base in Germany or a base in Istanbul, Turkey, or wherever, as long as it's a military base,
exactly, yeah,
it's fine.
And what they do is they'll draw the blood and they have to send it to Kansas State or some other certified laboratory with the Department of Agriculture. So if they're going to be using a different lab, it's best to check with the Department of Agriculture before they actually have the test done in that lab, so that the
Department of Agriculture
Guam,
here.
Guam, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what about Hawaii and Japan? I mean, does that 0 to 5?
Yeah, actually they're not 0 to 5 day. They're actually considered to be quarantine exempt because they have the same status as Guam, which is rabies free.
Okay.
So all that's needed is that health certificate.
Okay.
And then you still have to apply with the Department of Agriculture to get the on Guam to get the entry permit to enter in Guam. But you can actually do that all yourself. So there's no quarantine needed.
If they're coming from Hawaii.
If they're originating from Hawaii or Japan. So even if you're if you're originating from the U.S. and just transiting through Hawaii,
you still need to
do the FAVN test because you're originating in the mainland.
From somewhere else.
Yeah.
But if you're originating from Hawaii or Japan.
Yeah. Okay. Quarantine exempt.
Okay. Okay, that's very good. I need my glasses, you guys, because I can't see all those questions. All right, so pets coming from Europe or any other area. So they need to have that FAVN. How do you say that?
FAVN.
FAVN test. FAVN. So they need to have that FAVN test, and then as long as the Department of Agriculture of Guam acknowledges that.
Yeah, correct. And what happens is they'll get that blood test done, the FAVN test, and the test will be sent. The sample will be sent to Kansas State University in the U.S., and the results have to come directly from the lab to Department of Agriculture.
Okay.
So say even if the client receives a copy of the results of the FAVN, that won't be valid. It has to come directly either from the administering vet that drew the blood directly to Department of Agriculture Guam or from the lab to Department of Agriculture Guam. So they can't be sent from the client to Department of Agriculture.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the client's not involved with that one. So
they wouldn't be able to turn it in themselves yet.
Okay, but then so as a client, how can I expedite that? How can I make sure that the lab actually did send it to Department of Agriculture? And how can I be sure that the vet did send it? Because I can't call the Department of
Agriculture is a little bit hard to get a hold of that. Yeah. But best thing to do when you're doing your test, always let your vet know, where you're going and what you're doing. If you're planning to relocate into Guam, let him know when he does that blood test. He can actually put on the form, he can request that the results be sent directly to Department of Agriculture Guam and to himself. So both places are always good to kind of have a backup.
Okay, so get a copy himself too. So that I, as a client, if I want to check.
You can check with your vet, to see what the results were to make sure that your pet does pass before you send your pet, which is recommended because you don't want to enter with a lower score.
Okay, so that test, right? So you're saying I need to have it done before we fly out.
Yeah,
the pet flies out. Is it also like the pet certificate that it has to be like a few days?
No, I believe the FAVN is good for a year.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta
and
double check.
Titer?
The titer is the same thing as the FAVN test. So the FAVN test just measures like the titer.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so they're
together.
They're together. Okay. Okay, good. I didn't know that. It's a good thing. You learn something every day. So here's a question from one of my clients. I am moving to Guam sooner than 120 days. What happens now?
Okay. So if you're moving to Guam, and like I said, you're coming from the U.S., and if you have that FAVN test, depending on, it would be home quarantine. So if you're moving sooner than 120 days, that's fine if you have your FAVN test done. If you don't have your FAVN test done, there is an option of actually, some people are pressed for time and they kind of get relocated without knowing. So they can bring their pets to Guam and they can actually have the FAVN test done here.
Is that recommended?
That's not recommended. If it can be avoided, it's going to take you twice as long and it's going to probably cost you twice as much. Yeah,
so you don't want that. So as much as possible, you want to have it done in the States or wherever you're originating from. You want to have that done there because if you do have it done here in Guam, again, it's going to cost twice as much and take twice as long. Okay, so some of them, they're thinking they want to save some money. Can they prepare the paperwork themselves?
They could do the best way to get their paperwork prepared is actually from the vet because everything will need to be signed and approved from the vet. So in terms of paperwork, they can push them to get that paperwork ready and then have them send it.
Yeah.
And they can get copies and send those copies.
Right.
But as far as your application for your entry permit, that would be needed turned in by the client themselves. So it need to come from them, and that has your time of arrival, where you're coming from, what quarantine facility you're using, and then also our registration forms, basically their information and their pet's information.
Okay, so registration forms, we're going to get into that later when we talk about more about your services. So here's then a question another client had. He says, how can I find more information on Guam's pet quarantine regulations? Is there an online resource?
I know that the Department of Agriculture, if you Google Department of Agriculture Guam, they have a website that pops up with all the regulations, which is about 1,500 pages. It's really long. It's full. It's full of information, so they cover everything. But give us a call and we can give you a breakdown of the checklist of what you need to get done before you come. That makes it a little bit easier instead of having all that literature in between what you really need.
So the good thing is, if you call Sebi over here at Harper Valley Kennels, he can streamline that for you. So instead of reading 1,500 pages of information,
we'll have a 5-minute phone call.
5-minute.
Less than a 5-minute phone call.
Okay. Maybe you can Skype.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So okay. So here we go. So they can contact the Department of Agriculture, and the phone number actually is 671-300-7965, or you can email them at gu.agri@yahoo.com. So all that information is going to be on the PDF form that you can download on the link on the description of this event page. So here's another question. Can they bring a puppy or a kitten to Guam?
Technically you can, but it wouldn't be recommended just because younger animals, their immune system tends to be a little bit lower. There's a lot of stress with traveling. And then also when they arrive, they're in a new environment, coming in contact with a lot of different things that wouldn't be normal in the place they're originating from.
Right.
So you can. Is it possible? Yes. Is it recommended? No.
No.
Yeah. You want your pet to be fully vaccinated with all the 5-in-1 shots, your distemper, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Everything. You want to be up to date with all your shots. So some of those shots can't be given at a certain age within a pet.
So maybe what would be recommended is, let's say for example, you're coming from Vegas, Las Vegas, right? And you have a puppy, you fell in love with this puppy, and you really want to take the puppy home with you, or not home with you, to your next station, which is Guam, right? So maybe what would be recommended is you leave the puppy with a friend or a family member, let the puppy mature, get all the necessary vaccinations, and when he's good to go, he's old enough, then he's not a puppy anymore, right? He's a dog by that time, an adult dog, and then you can send for him.
That would be the best bet.
That would be the best. So if you're in love with your new puppy that you just got, and you can't, and you're moving to Guam, you're being stationed to Guam, and you can't bring him, so that would be the best way to do it. All right. So again, if you have any questions, folks, you can ask it, because I'm looking at my phone, checking if you guys have any questions, and I haven't seen anything. So I guess everything that we're telling you is helpful information. So that's good. That's a good sign. I take that as a good sign. All right. So the next question. Is the quarantine process required only for military members, or?
The quarantine is required for anybody entering Guam's borders. So regardless if you're military, civilian, alien, or any person, any person coming into Guam's borders will need to be checked by the Department of Agriculture, and everything needs to be the same process.
Okay, so that answers your question. It doesn't matter if you're military, if you're civilian. Everybody that's coming into our borders here in Guam needs that. Are there any weight restrictions for a pet, like bringing a pet, like if you have a really big dog?
No, I mean, for us, we take any pet, any size. Weight-wise, you have to check with whatever airline you're flying with. That would be the best bet, to call them and to see whether or not the size of your pet, and then also the size of your kennel, because if you have a really big dog, you're going to have a really big kennel. And sometimes the dimensions of the kennel are not, they won't accept them. So it's really just better to just contact the airline.
So it depends where you're going to be originating from, the airline you're going to use. But as far as Harper Kennels is concerned,
we brought in Great Danes that are, like my size, and the box can barely fit in the back of the truck.
There's a German dog that one of my clients, and who's a close friend, brought in. I can't even pronounce that name of that dog, but yeah, she brought.
Yeah, they're huge. We bring big dogs all the time, so no weight restriction.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so you heard that. That's good. So the time of the year, does it matter? Because I have some clients that they have to leave their pugs behind because something about flat nose or something, something like that. Does it matter? I mean, as far as the time of the year, as far as bringing pets are concerned.
As far as our regulations in Guam, it's allowed any time of the year we accept any pet. But again, it would be dependent on the airline because I know United doesn't fly snub-nosed pets certain times of the year, like during summers. But in Guam, it's always summertime. So, like if summer right now, but
it's November and it's summer here. It's forever summer here.
So it would be just always safe to check the airline if you ever have any questions as far as the pet traveling and what restrictions are going to.
As far as weight, as far as breed.
Some breeds, some airlines won't fly pit bulls, pit bull terriers. They'll require like a special crate, it's a big metal aluminum crate that has to be with that pet. So
like
always want to check.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, pretty much. It looks like a dinosaur cage. It looks like a dinosaur cage. Yeah, it does. And they're expensive, so.
Wow.
You can have someone build a crate for you out of wood.
But will that be approved? I mean,
depending on the airline, yeah. Just follow. They have PetSafe has like the regulations online as far as kennels, and some people have hand built their wooden kennels, but they're a lot heavier than obviously like aluminum, steel, or.
I do have a question for you. Other than dogs and cats, right? Because I have a client that has a pig.
Okay.
Can we bring a pig?
I know that we brought in rabbits, a pig. I'm not too sure. We brought in a sheep.
Oh wow.
A lamb, yeah. So I would think that a pig would be okay, but it would be Department of Agriculture's call. So call them. They have a different type of regulation for pigs, but it probably would be possible. I think they have a separate test actually for a pig.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would you board a pig?
That I mean, we would board anything, any animal.
You gotta make it separate from the dogs.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. We have like one pig stall.
One pig stall just for you. Okay, so that. Yeah, because I also have a neighbor who's military, and then when he was here on Guam, he adopted a pig. I don't know, maybe he saw a pig.
Or he caught a pig.
Or he caught a pig, and then they shipped the pig to the States. It's amazing. So now we're on the second part of this whole traveling with your pets, and this is transporting your pets. So what are your tips? Transporting crate, that would be including crate and board, checking in the pet, and clearing them through customs. Is it only United Airlines? I guess you already answered this earlier, but is it only United Airlines that can transport pets to Guam?
Right now, because I think Delta stopped their service to Guam, so United would be your best bet, and I think Philippine Airlines, if I'm not mistaken, you fly from like LA to the Philippines to Guam.
Yeah.
And that's a possibility with Philippine Airlines, but more likely it's going to be United.
Yeah.
How
about those? Because like a lot of Korean flights are coming in.
Yeah.
So
from that way, if you can route through Korea, but that would be like a longer flight for your pets.
Right.
So
you don't want that.
The shorter amount of travel time, the better. Yeah, less stress on your pet.
And that would be, I think, shorter amount of travel time is through Hawaii or through Japan. So it's
it's almost the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So United. So I know you had said like have both originals and copies of their rabies certificates on hand, their health certificates, and also any permits necessary. So all airlines that fly to Guam can transport animals.
Yeah.
So are you familiar with the United? Because United is really basically the main airline here on Guam. So are you aware of their main requirements as far as that is concerned?
For them coming into Guam, I know that they have some kenneling requirements. I know there's size issues with your pet. You want to make sure that your pet has 3 inches of clearance from the top of their ears. So it's kind of weird because if you have a German Shepherd, their ears go up. So if you have a Beagle, their ears, so it's kind of,
from the highest
top of the
point.
ear, yeah.
Okay.
So, and then they have other regulations, like you have to have metal screws, you have to have bowls attached to the inside of your kennel. Again, it's just best to check online with PetSafe because I know they change their regulations whenever they, exactly. So that's the regulations as of now.
As of now. So
November.
So you'll have to check the airline and just check for the pet safe requirements, just to double check and make sure that you're in compliance. So here's the thing. My baby is gonna go on a 17-hour flight. I'm stressed out. How do I avoid, or how do I lessen the stress for my animals? And you have a lot of tips here, so maybe you want to read.
Okay. Well, a lot of times when you're moving your pet and relocating your pet, sometimes the owners take on more stress than the pet. Yeah, but sometimes there are some things that you can do to kind of alleviate stress, kind of get them a little bit more comfortable. One of the first things is to kind of, if you know that you're coming to Guam ahead of time, you want to maybe purchase your travel kennel. Again, make sure the size is correct so they get used to it. Have them go in and out of the, just get them used to going in and out of the kennel, like a second home. Maybe put in a t-shirt or something that kind of smells like you to have them a little bit more comfortable. And then same thing, when they're ready to travel, you want to make sure that you have your bowls connected to the front of your kennel, plastic bowls. You want to make sure like the size is good, and then you want to have some absorbent material on the bottom of your kennel, just in case the water spills in the bowls or
so
they have an accident. Yeah, so we recommend you put like puppy pads on the bottom. What we usually do when we export pets is we'll put like a puppy pad and fold it in half so it's a little bit thicker in the front, because sometimes the water tends to come over the bowl and you don't want it to get the whole bedding wet.
Right.
So it'll be absorbed in the puppy pad, and then you have your towel or bedding on top of that. So it's kind of like a barrier.
Okay.
And then also have your shirt. You can have a shirt that you kind of sweat in, or just some shirt that you wore, don't wash it. Just kind of keep your scent on it so that when your dog is actually in the crate, you know, throughout travel, your scent is in the crate with the dog, so that tends to calm them, I guess, a little bit better.
I can relate.
Yeah.
I can relate. I like having my husband's shirt.
Yeah. See?
So, okay, wait. So let's see. And then, you're saying something about feeding.
Yeah. So if you're coming to Guam, anytime your pet's traveling anywhere in the world, you don't want to feed them before their flight, because the more you put into them, kind of the more it's going to come out during travel, you know. So
but what if he's starving?
I would feed them a snack, or less than what you usually feed them, and have them use the restroom before they get into the crate, of course, because with nerves and travel and stress, sometimes they tend to use the restroom a little bit more. And you know, when they're in the kennel and they use the restroom, there's nowhere to go. Yeah. So it's kind of better to have them like an empty stomach, but like a snack maybe. And then I wouldn't recommend putting food in the bowls, because when they come from the U.S. and they have to do an overnight in Hawaii, they're let out overnight. So even if they have no food for that, is it a 5-hour flight? They'll be let out in Hawaii, and they're going to feed them, give them water. So water is the most important thing, as long as they kind of stay hydrated.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we do when we ship out pets is we'll get the bowl for the feeder bowl that connects to the kennel and kind of fill it up halfway with water, and then put it in the freezer. Okay. So then we ship out the next day, it's actually frozen in the kennel, so it's cool.
Right.
You know, if they hot during travel or something like that, and then it just melts, and then it just melts in the water.
Okay.
So it's
that they can drink and they won't dehydrate. Yeah. Let me see, what else is there? And you had said that, you know, make extra copies of their documents.
Yeah, make extra copies of everything. So you want to send the originals with the pet, because they'll need those with customs when they arrive in Guam. And then also in transit, Hawaii may require a certain document that you need to have. It's always best to have more than less.
Yeah. Okay.
So we recommend making double copies of everything, sending electronic copies to us, Department of Agriculture, yourself, everybody. So in case anything gets lost, we can access it correctly and expedite the release of it.
Your
mother, everywhere. Put it out on Facebook, wherever you want it. Ship it out.
Okay, so now we're going into the last part of of transporting your pets, is that when the pet is already here on Guam. So how can you help arrange for shipping my pet with the airline? Can Harper Valley Kennels help with that?
Yeah, we can. We've helped some clients. Sometimes they'll either purchase an animal in the States, or they just don't want to do any paperwork at all. So what we do is we work with their veterinarian that they've been using. We get all their information as much as possible, and then we work with the airline to do their booking with PetSafe. And then, of course, they're going to have to take their pet, because we're not in the States,
Right.
to the airport to get weighed and processed.
Unless they pay for your airfare.
Yeah, unless you fly me over to LA for 3 or 4 days, and then we do that. But we can expedite. We can do any type of paperwork that you want us to do. We can do. If you don't want to do anything, we can do everything. If you want to do half, we'll do the other half.
Right. And I've heard this, so no fault of Department of Agriculture. I can understand they're understaffed and they can't get to the phones, but I think a lot of their frustration is trying to get a hold of Department of Agriculture, right? Yeah, getting timely communication either by email or having somebody answer the phone. So can Harper Valley Kennels, can you help them with coordinating that communication?
Yeah, we can. So what we do, we do the same thing as you. We'll call them 100 times a day, and if they don't answer and something really needs to be expedited, we get in the car and we drive down to the Department of Agriculture for you, and
so they know
we'll be there. Right? Yeah, exactly. We'll stand at the window for you.
They even know your scent, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My shirt's in their office, so they know when I'm coming. No, but if they really need something to be done, they can give us a call, and if they're getting really frustrated, which a lot of times people tend to get.
Yeah, because a lot of times what happens is they're already frustrated, and that's when they call you.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's good, if you want to alleviate a lot of these headaches right now and make it, again, less daunting, less painful, less stressful, then, SEBI can offer, they have that service to assist you guys. So you're going to help with the paperwork, and you can also help with coordinating with the airlines, correct?
Yeah, correct. So if you need us to either do a booking for you or schedule your transit or whatever route that you want to take, go ahead and we can do those services too.
Okay. So then you'll kind of also work with their travel plans, right?
Yeah,
or let's
exactly,
say I'm traveling with my pet. You're going to try to coordinate that they are with me.
Or sometimes, if a lot of times people will send their pets ahead of them or after them, so you don't have to be at the airport to pick up your pet. So if you want to ship your pet to Guam ahead of time, you can go ahead and send them. We'll be at the airport to pick them up when they arrive, clear them with customs.
Are you serious? You're going to be at the airport?
No, I mean, that's where the cargo,
Okay.
Arrive at. Every animal that comes to Guam, they come to cargo. We're there to meet them, clear them with customs, do all the paperwork, make sure everything's fine with them, and then go ahead and transport them from United Cargo or whatever airline cargo it is, usually United, and then transport them to our facility in our van, and then let them out, let them use the restroom, make sure they're comfortable, and just wait for them to be released to their owners.
Okay, so I'm just going to repeat basically what was said. So the next question, and he already answered that, but I'll just repeat it. It says, how can you help me? I have already completed my pet's paperwork. So Sammy answered that and says, give us a call, and the phone number is on that email that you're going to get when you download the, or when you click on that link on the description. So he says, give us a call and reserve a kennel spot for quarantine. So you can, Harper Valley Kennels can do that. You're like a quarantine facility also,
yeah,
correct?
So we're a certified quarantine facility. So we can go ahead and be your quarantine facility that's going to be processing the transportation of your pet and the housing of your pet, whether it's 0 days or 120 days.
Okay.
We usually try to shoot for, that's the other thing that we do is we try to get you with your pet as soon as possible.
Right.
So,
because I want to be with my pet.
Of course, everybody does, and 100 phone calls coming to our phone. But yeah, that's what we're there for. We're pet lovers too. We're pet owners. And, to us, it's not really a job. It's more like a lifestyle. I've been doing it my whole life. My mom's been doing it.
Yeah.
She's still around, so she's still doing it.
Amen. Hi, Velma, if you're watching. Okay, so you're saying here the pet will still need a post-arrival health check after arriving to Guam before being released to the owner.
Correct. So any pet that comes to Guam within 72 hours needs to have a post-arrival health check. So what that is actually we'll transport your pet to our vet that we use. We use Mariana's Vet Care in Barragata. And what they do is they make sure the pet's healthy, no signs of infectious diseases or anything like that. They take their temperature, make sure they're okay from travel, and then they scan them for the microchip to make sure that's actually the dog that matches the paperwork.
Okay.
So
okay.
Make sure that's the dog pretty much, yeah.
Right, before it's released to the owner. Or cat, or pig.
Or pig, or rabbit, or
iguana or whatever. Okay. So, and in case you missed it when he said it earlier, in case that your pet goes ahead of you, or you don't really want to deal with the stress of having to pick up your pet, or you just want Sebi to go with you to pick up your pet because you want to be there when your pet comes out of the airport. So they actually, an employee of Harper Valley Kennels will be there at the cargo bay to clear with customs and transport the pet safely to their quarantine facility.
Correct.
Okay. So, and then also, the question is, what if my pet arrives on Guam before I do? Their service is they can also be there to clear and transport the pet for you. So, and then while you're still not here on Guam, they also can board the pet at their facility.
Yeah. So we can hold your pet for as long as you need to take to get to Guam.
Okay. Let's see, what else do I have? Okay, how much will it cost to have Harper Kennels, because it's always about cost, right? So now we got to find out. How much does it cost for you to prepare my pet for quarantine?
So our 0 to 5 day program, as long as you have all your paperwork and everything, like your FABN test done, and everything's complete, and your pet's ready to come to Guam, and your paperwork has been reviewed by the Department of Agriculture, and they certify you, and it says on your entry permit, 0 to 5 day home quarantine program.
Mm-hmm.
That program costs with us about $500.
Okay.
And that $500 includes the customs overtime officer that we have to clear when we clear pet at cargo. Mm-hmm. It includes all transportation from the airport to our location and to the vet, from the vet. That includes the post-arrival health check fee with the veterinarian for the vet check. And then it also includes our 0 to 5 day quarantine fee, which is the $250.75.
So that 500 does include a lot of.
That includes everything, yeah. So when people hear 500, they're like, oh, $500.
But it includes.
That's everything. So you're not going to pay anything more.
And I think for peace of mind, and I'm not pulling my hair trying to figure out how to bring my dog over, who's going to pick him up, and all those things, having to deal with the Department of Agriculture, I think it's worth every penny.
I mean, it's stress. So that amount takes care of a lot of stress.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
Takes away a lot of stress. Yeah. Let him stress.
Give us we'll work you through it. Any situation, like I said, we've been doing it for a long time, so people have weird situations and timing and stuff like that, and so we kind of work with them and the Department of Agriculture to kind of make it a little bit easier, less stressful.
And so this comes to the point, right? So that's why it really helps when you work with a local business, or a local resident. Let's say, for example, Sebi here or myself as a local realtor, because we already know the ins and outs of the culture here, and only on Guam, kind of a pace or things of doing
Everyone
business.
here is operating on tomorrow's standard time. So, yeah.
So if you don't know what that means, we're like lackadaisical, taking our time. So it works to your advantage if you work with a local business, a local realtor, a local vet, a local kennel. So here's my question, Sebi. How does Harper Valley Kennels stand out from? Do you have competitors? Is there?
Well, they have the military vet, Anderson Pet Lodge. They do their own in-house quarantine. Sometimes they're hard to get a hold of too. I mean, everybody's busy.
Right.
But we kind of separate ourselves from the competition just in terms of customer service. The things that we'll do, we'll drive down to the Department of Agriculture if you need us to. We'll be there. You don't have to worry about anything not being ready before you come. We'll make sure everything's all set up. There's no bumps in the road. We try to get you with your pet as soon as possible. So as soon as everything's taken care of, we like to get people with their pets within 24 to 48 hours.
Reunited,
exactly.
and it feels so good.
So we like the looks on people's faces too when they reunited with their pet.
Yeah.
We just have those videos of people like, oh, my pet.
That you should be posting that.
I know, yeah, we were thinking about that.
Sharing that.
Yeah, a lot of people do record themselves and their pet because the
Yeah.
pet thinks, oh, they left me.
Oh.
Especially if they're a rescue and they're like, oh no, not again, yeah.
No, I'm abandoned again. So not only do you help in importing, so you also help with exporting, because like with my military clients, they will PCS out, right? They will PCS out, so you will help them.
We can help them. Leaving Guam is a lot easier. So, I mean, to be honest, if you want to do it yourself, you can. Mm-hmm. All you need is your health certificate, and then you're ready to go.
Okay.
So you don't need the blood work. You don't need of course you need your shot records, but you could just leave Guam and go pretty much anywhere because then you're considered to come from a rabies-free area.
Okay.
So exporting is a lot easier, but we can do that for you if you need us to. We'll do anything.
All right. They'll do anything.
Yep.
Pet travel related.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Savvy, if people want to get a hold of you, what is the best way for them to contact you?
Best way to contact us is through our phone. It's area code 671-477-8381. And if no one answers on that phone, just wait a little bit longer because it goes directly to my cell phone. Mm-hmm. So just let it, if you don't think anybody's picking up, just let it go and I'll answer the phone wherever I'm at. You can visit our website, www.hvkguam.com. And you can also send us an email. It's harperkennels@guam.net. Those are the 3 best ways. We always recommend email just because it's there and we can reference there and we can kind of start a chain of documents and information, have everything in one packet.
Right.
So just give us a call or an email or, anything. We do also offer like home drop off if you can't be at the airport to pick up your pet, or if you can't pick up your pet from our quarantine facility, we do go ahead and kind of expedite that and we can drop the pet to your home. So it's kind of like a door-to-door service.
Door-to-door service. Oh, speaking of that, boarding, right? Because my clients, they go off island. Mm-hmm. They travel, or some of them, if they're a single member, they get deployed, for example, or they get, they TDY somewhere else, and so their pet, they need to find somebody to take care of their pet. Can you do that?
Yeah, we can do boarding. We do right now is our really busy time, so like you said,
everybody's going on for
exactly.
Christmas.
So nobody wants the dogs there at the house for Thanksgiving, so they all board at our place, and then they're all leaving for Christmas. So we board dogs we boarded dogs for up to 2 months. 2 days, 1 day, 2 weeks, for any amount of time that the pet owner needs us to board, we do that, and we also do offer the pick up and drop off. So if you need us to pick up your dog, we'll pick him up, bring him to our place, house him, and then give us a call, and we'll come and drop your pet.
All right.
And you can pay everything over the phone.
Can they pay by a credit card?
They can pay via credit card. They can bring their card in.
And they can get points?
They can swipe it. Yeah, if you want to get points, you can. You can pay over the phone. It's always best because we don't like to write down credit cards and anything anywhere.
Right,
so we always just do direct payment over the phone, and we'll go ahead and do the payment and email them their receipt.
Okay.
So
there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that ends our question and answer portion. I think there's some questions there, but I can't see them. Can you? Ooh, hold on. Let's see.
So she's asking.
Oh, there's Brittany. Brittany Bit. What are the options for pet-friendly hotels or pet hotels?
The only ones I know of, I think Westin does do up to a certain weight. I think under 25 pounds.
And can they do 2 or 1?
I'm really not too sure. I know people have at Days Inn, they do their pet-friendly Days Inn in Powell Road, and Westin are the only 2 that I've kind of heard people.
Yes, that pet-friendly, and of course the Navy Lodge or something like that.
Yeah.
I think on base. But then if you're not military, then you can work with Westin and Days Inn.
Yeah, correct. And some people actually get housed over at Days Inn or Westin because they'll house military people in the hotels in 2 months. Mm-hmm. For a certain amount of time, there's no room, I guess, in certain places.
Okay.
So that might be something to look into, whether or not you want to go to those pet-friendly hotels. But if they're not pet-friendly, you can board at our place, and you can come visit, and you can do all that stuff.
Okay, so that answers Brit. So sorry, I'm going to check the next question. If I have completed the quarantine time, can I take my pets to Anderson for their 72-hour health check?
If you're going to use our service, every quarantine facility has their vet. Mm-hmm. So if you use our service and you're going to be with us, we use our vet at Mariana's Vet Care, so they'll be doing the health check.
Okay.
But if you bring your pet in with Anderson, they would have their vet. Yeah. And that's kind of something that we kind of expedite because sometimes their vet's not available on certain days or not at all for a couple days. Mm-hmm. So the best thing to do is let us know when you're coming so we can schedule with the vet, have a time slot available. Yeah, so we go ahead and pick up your pet, and the following day we take them in for the health check, get them cleared, and then usually by that afternoon, before 24 hours, you can use your pet.
So really, again, they're very true to their word. They make it as fast as possible so that you can get reunited with your pet. So other than Britt,
Bethany
oh,
bought.
gosh.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I can't see. What's her name?
Bethany Bot.
Okay, Bethany Bot. I'm sorry. So other than Bethany asking questions right here, because she's present here on the live streaming, if you have any questions, again, you can email me. You can email Sevi. Any questions regarding housing, rental, or purchase because you're relocating to Guam, please contact me. You can do that through the Facebook page by sending us a private message, or you can email me at leah@livingonguam.com. But that's it for today. We hope that this information has been very helpful. Sevi, thank you. You can roll up.
Cool. Right.
So thank you everybody for joining us. And then I make an effort to bring in more people and resources for you that can help you with your other questions. So next time we will have somebody who can help you with house sitting, babysitting, even house cleaning. And then I will also have an expert who is good with couponing. And then I will have another expert who likes to sample different restaurants so that you guys know what restaurants will be good when you do get here or when you're ready here and you don't know where to eat. So anyway, so we're going to be providing, Living on Guam is going to be providing that resource for you so that your relocation, you're moving to Guam, you're being stationed here on Guam, will be an enjoyable time, and you will never forget Guam, and you will love Guam. Okay?
Welcome to Guam when you're coming.
Okay. Thanks, Emmy. Bye.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to end this. Thank you very much for coming, everybody.